Do you feel the vibes?
Hey, what's up guys? Jake here from Mind Time Gaming, and today I'm going to be doing my Last Jedi spoilers review. And guys, I really hope you enjoy it. I hope that that you have a great time with it. So if you have seen the video, not the video, the movie, then you obviously know. If you haven't, then guys, you're in for a treat. I did my no spoilers review, and I was sitting there and I was like, man, I really want to just drop these bombshells. And actually, guys, I made this template right here, the pictures and thing, and the slides you're seeing and things, before I went and watched the movie, and then I realized, I mean, I assumed they were, but actually almost every single one of those are in the movie, so that was pretty cool to me. But we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. The way it opens up, it's amazing. I mean, it's like, you know, it flashes. You're sitting there, you're looking at the rebel fleet, you know, or what's left of it. There's really not a lot left of the rebel fleet, just because over time, you know, it's progressed, and as we've seen in previous movies, the Rebel Alliance is starting to fall. And I have so much to say about it. I went into the movie open-minded. I said, you know what, I'm not gonna pick sides. I'm not gonna choose sides. I'm not gonna say, hey, you know, this is where I think, you know, this is what I think about it before I go in there. But going into it, I mean, I looked at Rotten Tomatoes review of it, and it says 95. Last I checked was just a few minutes ago, and it says a 93. So expectations are super high around it, and I mean, just going and watching it was awesome. But like I said, it opens up with that, and the action in it is just amazing. The CGI in it's amazing. Just everything about the movie is amazing. But going and you know, you can see that, you see the Rebel fleet. It just opens beautifully. You see that you know, that tension right there, because then you obviously have the First Order in there, and they're doing their thing. They're trying to stop the Rebel fleet, and Poe goes in there and he starts just lighting everything up. And I mean, of course, you have the common scenario of, well, something went wrong. Now, you know, I got shot. We have to fix it. So BB-8 comes in clutch, and he fixes it right in time, and he blows up the turret that's firing at him. So then they come in with some bombers and things, and all of their bombers get lost except one of them, and it drops the bombs on the I think they have a new ship. It's a new ship that they introduced. I can't remember the name of it, but it's this really weird looking ship, and it's more or less like a heavy artillery type of ship for the First Order. So they went ahead and wiped that out. There's a couple new ships. I mean, Snoke has a new ship that's introduced on here, like that ship I was just talking about was introduced. I've never seen it before, but I mean, Poe, he shows a lot of his skill in this movie. Finn shows a lot of his skill in this movie, and any questions that you have going into the movie, your questions get answered. I mean, you'll be wondering, you know, who is what. It never really addresses who Snoke is, but it shows us a lot of Snoke, and it's really awesome. But we'll go into Snoke a little bit more in a little while. So I actually went in with a notepad and wrote down while I was watching the movie. I mean, I couldn't see, but I wrote down what I could, just because there was so much that happened in the movie that it was like, wow, it's action packed, it's story packed, it's everything packed, and there's a lot of stuff about it that's really awesome that makes it so great. It was super funny. I mean, there were funny parts in there that you're just kind of like, you know, it broke up the tension. It helped out, you know, with the tension between good and bad, and all of these things that are going on. So I'm not gonna read everything off because I have like five pages, but there's great action, great CGI. It's a classic Star Wars with a new twist, you know, with the elements of the new movies and things added in there. I'm just kind of looking down my list right now. It cuts back after the battle to Rey on the island with Luke, and he has her lightsaber, and he just chunks it over his shoulder and walks off, like just walks right past her, doesn't say a word. And I was just like, wow, you know, just first impression with that, I was like, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be something to watch for sure, for sure. Um, uh, but I mean, I'm trying to read my notes right now just because it was so bad because it was pitch black and I have bad handwriting anyway. But oh yeah, Snoke roasted Kylo, straight up, and called him, made fun of his mask and everything. That was pretty funny. Um, uh, and he said, and he also roasted Kylo in a way Snoke did, because he was sitting there and he was talking about, you got bested by a girl that's never even used the Force before, doesn't even know what it is, and blah blah blah, and just talks about how he doesn't know anything. Kylo got pretty mad and he freaking smashed his helmet. He kind of threw one of his temper tantrums that he threw in The Force Awakens, and it's that classic Kylo Ren. And so many things happened. So many different things happened. Oh, there's these new characters that are introduced, and at first you have a hate relationship, and then you kind of love them by the end of it, because one of the characters is his vice admiral to Leia, and she helps save the entire fleet, or what's left of the Rebel Alliance, and you're kind of like, I didn't like her, but I guess, I'll take that or whatever. But also there's another part when it goes into a backstory and Luke starts talking about how he tried to kill Kylo because he saw the bad in Kylo, and Kylo tells a different story. And the other thing that's really cool is that there's a connection, like Rey will be walking along, and then she'll be talking to Kylo Ren through the Force, and they can see each other, but they can't see their surroundings. And it's one of those it's just really, really cool how they connect like that. And they're talking, and Rey thinks that she's going to turn him good and all this and that, which we find out that right when you think he's going to turn good, he doesn't. And I'm going to leave a few details just so when you watch the movie, if you do, you're kind of like, okay, that I didn't see that coming. But I mean, nothing like really, really big. I'm going to kind of cover some of those things in this though. But through that, and Luke says he saw the evil in Kylo, and Snoke says that Kylo's good and bad. He has a lot of his father in him and a lot of the Skywalker blood in him, so he's kind of still good. And everybody thinks that he's going to be good, but he turns out to still be evil, and he tries to kill Luke and all this stuff and that, but I'll get into that in a minute. One of the parts that's really convincing of allowing the audience to believe that Kylo turns good is when him and Rey are fighting each other, or he brings Rey in, he arrests her, she gets on a pod off of the Millennium Falcon and lands in Snoke's ship, and she's arrested, and goes up there and it's presented to Snoke, and Snoke says this, and she tries to use her Force powers, and Snoke just, shows her a what for, and Kylo also talked back to him or something and got shot off, or he was coming at him, he was about to pull his lightsaber out and got shot off with Force lightning. It doesn't ever say who Snoke is directly, so we're still left to be kind of bewildered more or less, just to kind of wonder, and it's really, really cool though. It definitely is probably my favorite Star Wars movie now after watching that, but it's a must-see in my opinion. But I'm going to kind of get back into more of the story. I'm sorry, I kind of got off track there, but I'm going to get back into the story a little bit more. Kylo, you think he's going to turn good. Then him and Rey get in a Force battle, and they actually break a lightsaber in half. So that was kind of really shocking, because Rey hasn't ever trained, and now Kylo has trained. And here's what happens. The lightsaber gets busted in half. Also seeing some of the training coming from Luke with Rey is really cool as well. It's just a great movie to watch. It blew my expectations out of the water. I believe this was going to be a great movie, but it even topped what I thought. and Yoda makes an appearance in there as a ghost does, and Luke says that he hasn't been using his Force powers, or he's kind of left the Force. He's turned his back, and without Luke, the entire Rebels alliance has just fallen, and that's what happened, and that's why that's so shrunk down now, and that's why all these things are happening, and they need Luke, and he says he will not be the last Jedi, because when him and Kylo go into a battle on this planet that they escape to from the ship, all the rebels do, Luke makes an appearance, and everybody's like, well, how did he get in here? And he has harnessed the Force so much that he had his image out there fighting Kylo Ren, and Kylo straight up like cut him in half. Everybody thought it did, and he turned around and Luke was still standing there, because Luke was still back at home sitting there focusing so hard that he made everybody think that he was there. So there's some really, really, really sick stuff that happens in here, and just some really, really cool things that happen in here. So I mean, I don't even know where all to start, what all to say. Like I said, I even took notes, and I still can't cover everything in that movie. There's so much to watch, so much to see. So guys, I guess that's probably just going to wrap up our spoilers review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that this kind of gave you some insight, kind of to show you what it is. Like I said, I didn't cover everything, I didn't go over everything, but you get to see Poe in action, you get to see Finn in action, Rey in action, you get to see everybody in action. And one thing I didn't mention, I'm going to go ahead and top it off now, that when Rey was being presented to Snoke, he said he was reading Kylo's mind, and Kylo uses the Force to get the saber, turn it sideways, turn it on, and cut Snoke in half, killing Snoke. So, like I said, we still don't know who Snoke is, and that may be coming later, or who really knows. So, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to do some more spoiler reviews on things like video games and movies, but we'll also do a no spoilers review always. So, guys, just if you like the video, comment it down there and tell me what you think. Make sure to smoosh that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Guys, we're going to be shooting for about 10 likes on this video. So if we can make that happen, guys, that would be so awesome. Also, make sure to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all under the same name of Mind Time Gaming. And guys, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back with another video soon. Yo!